Welcome, I am Emir, and let's look back in hindsight. We can't roam if you want to, roam around the world. And that's not just because of the L word which won't be named. As I mentioned before, traveling is a hassle. But who says we can't go anywhere we want? We have the internet, the internet, the internet, the internet. So, welcome to German Month, where I talk about German media. Today, let me talk about a long-running beloved children's icon and his counterpart from across the Iron Curtain. Meet the Sandman, the East German one, now simply the German one, and the West German one. They're both based on the Sandman from Ole Lukoye by Hans Christian Andersen. Yes, that Hans Christian Andersen. Again, nothing is original. Nothing comes from nothing. All these Sandmen send children to bed, but Andersen's Sandman gives dreams. Or not. At least not nightmares. The German Sandman, meanwhile, brings stories through a magical box that looks like a TV. So, kids would be watching a television screen, showing a story being played from a television screen. TVception? We have to go deeper. Why are there two German Sandmen? This is something I talked about before. The Cold War. And now, a history lesson. Germany was divided into multiple parts after World War II. Our story focuses on the parts called Germany, the Federal Republic of Germany, West Germany, and the German Democratic Republic, East Germany. The West German Sandman came first. According to Marie Cronquist, citing Volker Petzold, quote, the original idea to create an adaptation of the old fairy tale of the Sandman for television actually came from Ilse Ubrich, head of children's television at Sender Freies Berlin in West Germany, or more accurately, West Berlin. And together with animator Johanna Schuppel, she started building a set for the children's evening slot in the summer of 1959, when the head of the State Radio Committee, later head of State Television Committee, Heinz Adamek, informed program director at DFF Walter Heinowski of the West German project, they immediately instigated plans for a production of an Eastern Sandmännchen show that would premiere shortly before its Western equivalent. The project was assigned to the gifted puppet maker and television producer Gerhard Berendt from the creative environment at the DEFA Trickfilm Studio, Dresden. Unquote. Quote, the East German bold undertaking succeeded and Unser Sandmännchen managed to premiere already on 22 November 1959. It was an immediate success within the GDR, East Germany, and eventually also used in the international exchange of television programs. End quote. Was the East German Sandman, now simply the German Sandman, during the East German era political? This post says no, but I'd say yes. But it's subtle. It's not in your face. Think about it. Did you ever see him go to the United States? Or to Japan? Or to the Philippines? This article says the Sandman during the East German era also visited countries on the other side of the Iron Curtain. But I can't verify that. One, there's this documentary by ZDF, which shows the Sandman meeting Arabs and Eskimos, and of course, pioneers, but not Americans. Two, There's this documentary from the BBC which shows the Sandman landing in Moscow, the capital of, at that time, the Soviet Union. 3. Most episodes from the East German era are lost media. So, citation needed. But the show made its way to Sweden, a neutral country, in the 1970s, where the East German Sandman was called Jan Blund. Or is it John Blund? I don't know. He didn't speak in Swedish, surely. I mean, the German one doesn't speak, both during the East German era and after. And then I saw this video. What the toot? I wonder how Germans would feel seeing the Sandman speak. Maybe the same way I feel when I hear Tom and Jerry talk. Or maybe the same way Filipinos would when they see Kuya Boji, who they grew up with reading Filipino stories, speak in English. Again, I grew up not with Batibot, but with Apple. Speaking of Kuya Boji, there's this article comparing the former East German Sandman to 2010s era Batibot, in case you're interested. Interested? Please subscribe and ring the bell to be instantly notified of Balik Tanaw /in Hindsight episodes. Please like and share this video and all my videos across social media. Do check out all of my other videos and comment. Please support the show on paypal.me/baliktanaw, where you can give out any amount you want, or on Patreon, patreon.com/baliktanaw. Patrons on Patreon get early access to videos, get to see their names at the end of each video, and get to request reviews of a movie, an album, a song, a television show, or even on one-hit wonders. Or, at the very least, they get exclusive access to posts, which no one else can. Lastly, thank you to my sibling G-G Arts for the microphone I used for this video. She also designed my avatar. Check out her work on the links in the description. Thank you, and now back to the video. Neither West nor East, now just German, Sandman, spoke, except on the 2010 movie Das Sandmännchen, Abenteuer im Traumland. I'd even call the East German Sandman, as adapted by Sweden, a different Sandman altogether. An identical twin, but with a different personality. So, there are 4 Sandmen now. Back to the question of politics. Marie Cronqvist's article is interesting. Interesting because it cites 2 sides of the story. Those who say that the Sandman brought socialist and communist ideology to Sweden versus her analysis, which showed that this was not necessarily the case. Enough about Sweden. Let's go back to the German Sandmen. Why is there only one Sandman left today? Why did the East German Sandman survive and thrive in present-day Germany? How did it beat the West German Sandman? The answer? He didn't. The East German Sandman did not beat the West German Sandman. The latter simply stopped production in the spring of 1989, before the Iron Curtain fell in November that year, before the wind of change blew towards the east, or as the wind of change was blowing towards east. So, when reunification came, there was only one Sandman left, the Eastern one, now simply the German one. He's become more polished over the years and would even appear on live action and what looks like CGI segments. He sometimes even looks like clay. But what do I know about puppeteering? Much of the East German era Sandman episodes are lost media, not readily available online. I think the current producers reuse the Sandman segments from that time though, just replacing the stories in between. It's obvious from the video quality, but I can't say for sure. What I can surely say is this. A show that has been running since 1959 unavoidably has lost episodes. That's the reason I'm making this video, to know 1. What's lost, and 2. To call for dating what episodes are currently up. The uploads by the current producer, RBB, already contain dates. But what about those that don't? If we don't date these episodes, then we'll never know which ones are lost. I also made this video to emphasize just how little of the West German Sandman is online, and also to introduce him to the English-speaking world. I'm sure English speakers are only familiar with the East German, now simply German, Sandman because of Goodbye Lenin. The West German Sandman ran for a long time too, 30 years I think. So, there should be more than just 18 episodes. There's also something called Sandmännchen International, which is the scariest of them all, at least for me. So, add him to the list of Sandmen. What do I think of these Sandmen shows? I don't understand German, so I can only speak about the episodes with English subtitles. They're calming, but that's no surprise, given that the purpose of these shows are to put kids to bed, to tuck them in, and get them to sleep. The theme songs, both West and East, are catchy. I would find myself humming them. I was introduced to the Sandman through the movie Goodbye Lenin, meaning the Eastern one. So when I first saw the West German Sandman, I was shocked, maybe even scared. But I've gotten used to both of them now. Can't say which one I prefer. Their format is the same. Again, nothing is original. Nothing comes from nothing. But they have their own charms. I do like the stories on the now simply German version featuring Kali, a child who goes into fairy tales just like Little Red Riding Hood and changes how the story goes. Reminds me of a choose-your-own-adventure story, just like Everlasting Summer, just like the Samantha mod. We can't go anywhere right now because of the C word. Hopefully, the Sandman, whether West or East or Swedish or even Sandmännchen International, can bring us to another place and to another time.